A touch guarded by Darius Days. Moses Moody, the talented freshman, puts up his first shot. Offensive rebound by Vance Jackson to make coming into this game. Were they willing to push it and they want to push the tempo? It seems like the answer was yes.
Yeah, Arkansas is not afraid to run with anybody. And Vanover's an interesting guy. There's this
anywhere puts up the three, and he takes a lot of shots. 9th in the country in percentage of shots when he's on the floor. Wofford trying to clean it up. Best in the half court for LSU.
Well, he can score from all over the floor, but his sweet spot is on the far right spot as this game goes on. But he has a complete understanding of how to score as a freshman. That's wide open. Let it rip.
And Vanover can do just that. He's now matched up with a 6'5" forward in Wilkinson. Here's Thomas down the lane. Off the heel and rolls through. Highly efficient. Even though they're middle of the pack in the country in tempo. Here's Wofford.
Up jump shot.
Those are stylish kicks too.
Yeah.
Corner three. Wilkinson gets it. Great score, he said, simply anywhere.
On the floor. Basically on the floor.
Well, I got it. An interesting first half as Thomas tracks it down. Bump and no whistle. Here's Days.
He's not afraid of the contact. He sends the offensive player, Tom, in the direction that the ball should be going, and he's quick in and out of it.
Here's Javonte Smart getting in on it. Arkansas shooting just 23%, 3 for 13 in the opening moments. An Arkansas team playing without Indiana transfer Justin Smith. Still out with an injury, even though he practiced for a little bit a couple of days ago. They win 85-65. That foul on Moses Moody in the open floor, his first. Here's Watford for three. What a run.
Freedom. They got 4 dudes, man, offensively can just go get it. And they play with that same kind of a cocky swagger that Alabama plays with. Davis just got sped up. That's
here's
what LSU
Thomas
can do
for
to
three.
you.
Offensive board and another defensive board, I should say, for LSU. It was Hyatt there. Thomas steps through. Got it.
You know, they won 86 games his last 3 years there, and they're in the top 35 offensively all the time. So he knows what he's doing. But right now,
1983, but without an SEC win so far. Here's Cam Thomas.
Tom, I agree with Coach about Florida State. I love watching that Florida State team play. They are the real deal.
Here's Watford with step around Vanover.
They were playing as well as anybody. I'm not sure who's coming out after that last drive by Watford, but
first half, couple of ball fakes for Jackson. Arkansas 1 of 9 from 3. Here's Thomas. And a follow, punches through for Wilkinson.
On the other end, so they're not, with all the problems going on, now they've become offensive sensitive in terms of not making shots. So the effort time, big motor, tough fights. Loving.
Go.
You know who's in first class? No surprise.
A couple of
Gonzaga, Michigan. We're in right now. I really do.
Jimmy, I can tell you haven't been traveling much lately because these days they board from the rear, but your point is still well taken.
There you go. That's
put back for Jalen Williams. Need to call up Barry Odom, see if he can put a defense together for the second half. Transition three goes. JD.
John Stockton, same size, you know, just. No, I was not even close, but in walks John Stockton. So he comes over and visits, and I said, what do you mean don't be that guy? Like, he's not about people taking pictures. He's low maintenance.
LSU has an all-time winning percentage better than 75%, and on their way to impacting that number. Here's Moody, the talented freshman, back with Isaiah Joe. How did anybody stop that offense? Days inside. Pistol Pete wasn't on the varsity team when he was a freshman. That wasn't legal, so everybody would come to the freshman games and then leave. Tonight, Jimmy, how hard is that?
Yeah, it's really tough. It's interesting. I was watching at halftime, Tom. Arkansas came out of the locker room with about.
Here's Watford. Days on the glass. Yeah.
He got 8 or 9 rebounds now in the game. Great hands, doesn't he? Great hands, and Days is unique. He can do them both.
He's got a great enthusiasm for the game.
Yes.
I'm a fan of his post-bucket celebrations. Watford with the lean in.
Well, they did it.
Starts with Nate Oates, their coach, in his second season from Buffalo, playing the tempo that he wants to play.
And those are the things we continue to try to get out of the game.
Here's Cam Thomas. NBA scorer. And he brought up the fact that he's a high volume free throw guy, and that's a simple metric. Shot clock at 10. Contested bucket of the night.
LSU can confuse you a little bit defensively. They play a lot of point switch. Good grief.
Back to the 1-3-1. Follow tip.
Last time out, and Sharif Cooper, Auburn tonight in Georgia. Auburn putting it on him last time I looked, but that kid, what does he have, 8 or 9 assists already? Had 8 at that Cooper, I can tell you that.
Auburn's got a 21-point lead on the road at Georgia. Moody again.
Conversation that Steve Nash is going to have with James Harden explaining this is our offense. I would love to listen to that conversation.
Jimmy?
I was talking in the first half about the 4 teams, a really good rim run by the offense. And guy just runs right to the rim like he's supposed to, like it's a tie ball game. You love coaching guys like, again, not huge in terms of plays above the rim. Below their number of where they want to be. And I think they'll go back and grade this film, Tom, and probably won't be real close. Ball has not been hot. It hasn't been quick. It hasn't made LSU move nearly as much as Coach Muss wants.
Florida, 40-point game against Florida Memorial when he was at Jacksonville. He's a guy who can fill it up. Here's Javonte Smart now. Sills, and that won't help the confidence. Rejected by Josh LeBlanc. Here's a lob to Wilkinson and the finish.
Mark Few's phone is going to be blowing up
Yes.
because the coaches are going to want to know, how do you handle being off for that 10 or 12, 20 to go?
Watford.
He bounced the ball about 7 times. He got it tipped away, picked it up, and went right back to the same spot. All he was trying to do was get the defender on the high side and spin and go baseline.
Even though Texas Tech will go into that having won the last 2 in Austin. Davis off the mark.
And kind of get in a defensive rebounding position.
Right.
It's not about where your body is, Tom. It's about where is your...
In that scenario, and try to get it against the Longhorns tonight. Thomas with the rebound. Not afraid to push, looking for points. And Days ends up the benefactor.
Smart and Days, they were watching ball last night, texting me as a head coach at home, watching games. And I didn't take that lightly because there's not enough guys that do it.
Arkansas to 35% shooting. A 92-76 score. And the Razorbacks looking for one more. That won't work. Not much work for Arkansas tonight.